A major severe weather outbreak is underway, and it is expected to impact more than 100 million people across the United States. Multiple storm systems will bring repeated rounds of dangerous weather from today through the weekend, affecting a large portion of the central and eastern United States. Damaging winds, very large hail, and tornadoes are all on the table. Some of these events have the potential to become truly significant if atmospheric conditions align. These same storm systems will also bring a wintry side to parts of the country. Across the Midwest, Northern Plains, and Great Lakes region, heavy snow and a possible ice storm are expected on the colder side of these systems. This is classic spring severe weather season, and the atmosphere is primed for an extremely active week. The outbreak begins today, Tuesday, with a level 2 out of 5 slight risk of severe weather covering parts of the Ohio Valley, Great Lakes, and into the interior Northeast. A broader marginal risk extends southward into Texas and Oklahoma. Numerous to widespread thunderstorms are expected to develop throughout the day. The primary concern today is scattered damaging winds, with the highest threat focused across southern Michigan, northern Indiana, and northwestern Ohio. Large hail is also possible, with some storms capable of producing hail up to golf ball size. A couple of strong tornadoes cannot be ruled out, though the tornado threat today is conditional. If storms remain isolated and discrete, the risk for a stronger tornado increases. If storm activity becomes widespread and clustered, that threat becomes more limited. Wednesday is expected to bring a more significant severe weather setup and could mark the beginning of a multi-day stretch during which tornadoes are possible on each consecutive day. A slight risk has been issued from the Kansas City area southward through Abilene, Texas, including major cities such as Oklahoma City, Tulsa, and Wichita. A broader marginal risk stretches from Iowa all the way down to the Texas-Mexico border, with an additional marginal risk area covering parts of the Ohio Valley. The primary threats on Wednesday will be damaging winds and very large hail. Southwestern Oklahoma and surrounding areas face the greatest danger, where some storms could produce wind gusts exceeding 75 miles per hour. Hail is also a major concern, with stones potentially exceeding 2 inches in diameter. Some storms could produce hail as large as baseballs. Storms may initially develop as supercells, making them capable of producing significant and long-track hail damage. The tornado threat on Wednesday is also elevated. A 5% tornado probability has been issued across portions of Kansas, Oklahoma, and Texas, with a 2% probability extending into the Dallas-Fort Worth metro area. Quick-hitting tornadoes are possible, and there is a real chance for at least one strong tornado given the favorable wind shear in place. Much of this severe weather activity is expected to develop after sunset, making it especially dangerous for those in the affected areas. On Thursday, the severe weather threat continues as the storm system tracks northeast into the Midwest. Damaging winds, large hail, and tornadoes remain possible. Parts of Iowa and Missouri could see some of the stronger activity, where atmospheric conditions could support a couple of tornadoes, potentially even a strong one if daytime instability builds sufficiently. For areas farther east, including Chicago, Michigan, Indiana, and Ohio, the main concern on Thursday will be strong wind gusts accompanying thunderstorms, along with a low but non-zero tornado risk. Even areas that do not see tornadoes should prepare for the possibility of power outages and tree damage from straight-line winds. Friday has the potential to be the most significant and impactful day of this entire weather event. The storm system will be positioned more favorably, and the current severe weather outlook is expected to be upgraded as the day approaches. Areas from northern Iowa and southern Minnesota, all the way southward through Texas and Oklahoma, could see severe storms develop. The main threats on Friday will be damaging winds, very large hail, and tornadoes. Storms are expected to initially develop as discrete supercells before organizing into fast-moving squall lines, which would significantly increase the damaging wind threat across a wide area. If those discrete supercells have enough time to develop before merging, several tornadoes, some potentially strong, some could be produced alongside widespread wind damage and very large hail. This is a day that meteorologists are watching very closely. Residents across the central United States, from the plains to the Mississippi Valley, should have their severe weather plans in place well before Friday arrives. Know where to take shelter, keep your phone charged, and make sure you have a way to receive weather warnings. Saturday brings another round of severe weather to portions of the country, though the intensity is expected to be somewhat lower than the peak on Friday. A corridor of storms stretching from Indianapolis down through Houston could produce damaging winds as the primary hazard, with a few embedded tornadoes still possible. Do not let the slightly lower risk on Saturday lead to complacency. Any tornado or damaging wind event is a serious threat. By Sunday, the storm system shifts its focus toward the east coast. Scattered damaging winds may linger, and isolated severe storms are possible across parts of Virginia, Maryland, and portions of the Northeast. Residents along the East Coast should monitor the forecast closely as this system approaches later in the weekend. For residents across the central and eastern United States, this week calls for preparation and awareness. If you are in or near any of the highlighted risk areas, now is the time to review your severe weather safety plan. Have multiple ways to receive warnings, including a weather radio, smartphone alerts, and local broadcast updates. Know your nearest sturdy shelter, and never attempt to shelter in a mobile home or vehicle during a tornado warning. USA Storm Center will be tracking every storm throughout this entire event. We will bring you the latest updates, live storm coverage, and breaking weather alerts as conditions evolve. Stay with us throughout the week for full coverage of one of the most significant severe weather outbreaks of the spring season. Stay safe, stay informed,